Hey there, friends and family. Chef John, Grab-and-Go Concessions. I'm going to begin this video with about 20 something questions. Number one, food truck electrical systems, the do's and the don'ts. Did you know that most food trucks that fail, I would say 6 times out of 10, actually, it's either gas related or it is electrical related. Either somebody left and left the coffee maker on, somebody left a warmer on, something got hot and caused a fire. Or the person that actually built the truck did something wrong and something happened. You either plugged in too many items, overloaded a circuit, and you closed for the night, or whatever it is. Next thing you know, you wake up to a tragedy, okay? Do's and don'ts, electrical systems in food trucks. Um, let's go with food truck electrical systems, do's and don'ts. Number one, the biggest electrical mistake food truck owners make. Okay? Number three, generators, as far as shore power and fire hazards explained. Okay, we'll get to that part. Why most food truck electrical systems fail. Number five, food truck power setup, what you need to know. Number six, before you buy a generator for your food truck, you should do your research understanding amperage and voltage. The hidden electrical cost of running a food truck, which is number seven. Number eight, food truck wiring nightmares. Oh boy. How to power a food truck the right way. Okay, so that's number 9. Let me move on to the next page. Overloading circuits. Okay, overloading circuits. That's something I wanted to mention in between. Number 10, using household wiring instead of commercial grade. You got to know the difference, right? Cheap extension cords. Number 11. Okay, number 12, no surge protection. Wrong generator size. Number 13, too many appliances on breaker. Okay, ignoring ventilation around generators. Right? At this point, what's the worst electrical setup you've ever seen in a food truck, right? All right, let me go to the next page. Generators, well, do's and don'ts. Do you have to use a commercial generator? Calculating wattage before buying equipment. Keep backup fuel safety stored. Actually, service your generator regularly. Use quiet generators for events. Or buy an undersized generator. Run generators indoors. I think I've said that. Ignore noise ordinance. Use damaged cables. So these are the questions that people sometimes, well, they write and stuff, and I kind of gather these questions online and see what I can make of these things. I'm not even going to get into the hybrid setups and the battery setups and stuff like that. I wouldn't bother with that. I don't think we're there yet, and I don't think they're going to let us get there. You know what I mean? Which explains the Tesla history. We didn't even have to use cables or wiring. We could have been just everybody's on their own grid using the sun, as long as we learn how to store electricity. You ever seen those houses with those big panels on top? You're like, well, that person looks like he's off the grid. He's not off the grid. She's not off the grid. That's power they gave for her to actually give back to them. There's a trick to that. They take off $100 and something off your light bill, but they put that towards the panels that you got to pay the company that installed the panels. Yet you have no battery, so whatever voltaic voltage that's coming from those panels should be stored in a battery and be ready and available to you when needed, especially in Florida. But that's another page. Okay. let's get back to everything I read. And then I'm just going to tell you the do's and the don'ts and the whys things happen. Okay. Um, the biggest electrical mistakes to me during my experience a food truck owner can make is extension cords when you start adding quads and things like that to outlets. For instance, you got an outlet that's got one and two, sideways or top to bottom. Now you add a quad to each of them. So now you done took two outlets, you done turned it into eight outlets. Okay, that's not good. Extension cords are not good because they heat up and burn. They create resistance. Okay? The difference between generator shore power as far as fire hazard is concerned. One thing about a generator you have to be careful is actually when you're pouring gas in it, you're in the middle of serving your customers, then the generator runs out. You send a guy out, hey man, go put this 5 gallons of gas in this generator, then he spills gas over the muffler, over the exhaust rather, right? You got to be careful. That stuff can catch on fire, and there you go. You right there, standing there. You're watching the thing burn, but you don't have a fire extinguisher, right? Make sure you have the proper gas can that has the proper cap and the proper safety. The gas won't start spilling until it is completely upside down in the nozzle inside the tank of the generator. Be careful with that. Okay. Why most food truck electrical systems fail? Bad construction to begin with. Okay, there was a question in there that says, should I use commercial wiring or should I use residential wiring? There's no difference. If the guy's a good electrician, he can use Romex, which is a 3-wire. I believe it's the orange one. He can use that and make it work just fine. There's no commercial wiring when it comes to RVs and food truck. Believe it or not, an RV and a food truck is built the same way. You ever touch your food truck and get shocked? Well, that's called hot skin. It's a normal thing. I mean, it's not normal to get shocked, but I've been zapped so many times. I learned my lesson from buying these metal water hoses too. Okay, so you can actually ground the food truck using the green wire to the chassis, or if you are at a place that you're stationary, you can ground your food truck. You can buy a ground rod and ground your food truck, like away from your food truck. That works. It does work. I've tried it. Alrighty. Food truck power setup, what you need to know. I don't think I think I've gone through that. Before you buy a generator for your food truck, the hidden electrical cost of running of a food truck, you don't know how much gas that thing's going to burn. You'll have an idea, but with the prices of gas fluctuating, you can't really keep a steady number saying, well, gas is $2.30. My generator can actually burn a gallon of gas every 5 hours or whatever. You can do that kind of math. But today, I leave that for the birds. I don't waste my time, calculating gas mileage and all that. Imagine a tractor trailer that does 12 miles a gallon is paying $6 per gallon. You could do that math. I'll keep you busy doing that math. Okay. Food truck wiring nightmares. Boy, they set on fire. Wiring nightmares, a food truck with a bad electrical system is going to catch on fire. Either it's going to burn something, it's going to trip a breaker. Hopefully it does trip a breaker, or it's just going to burn something. One of the main reasons why food trucks do burn down is people, sometimes you as the owner, you guys are tired and you leave the coffee maker on, or you leave some kind of warmer, or you leave that extension cord that you actually had that quad hooked up to, that's hooked up to something else. Hopefully it'll burn the wire, but it won't burn the truck. But to sum that up, a lot of these manufacturers, they don't have real electricians. The guy that does the electrician is the guy that does the plumbing and everything else. Okay. Of course, cheap extension cords, no surge protection. I I would I installed. I had to modify two things in my food truck. I've modified the exhaust fan because it was too loud. Come on, guys, you guys build the food truck, and the exhaust fan like sounds louder than the generator itself. So I used a like a variable resistor button, which is called a rheostat for you older guys. I was able to slow down the speed by using that variable resistor type of button. Yes, surge protection works. GFI, GFCI. Take note. Anything next to water, outside, needs to be GFI, GFCI. You do have breakers that are GFI, thermal breakers and all that stuff. It's just more expensive stuff. So that's one of the reasons why when you walk in there, you say, hey man, you know what? I need 50 amps instead. Because you can have a 50 amp plug and convert it to 30 amps. You can go from 30 to 120, which is, 5, 10 amps. So just say you're at an event. All you want to do is just use your refrigerators. You can step down to 120. You can plug in on your generator or elsewhere. You can go from 50. Well, you can go to 220 to 120. Oh, to 110. To make it more easier to understand. Okay. Too many appliances on one breaker. There goes the quad. Too many appliances on one breaker. That's why you should ask for 50 amps to begin with. So you don't have to be adding extension cords. You ought to have enough outlets for you to actually plug in extra equipment. Okay? They say shoot for the moon, you'll hit the stars. Ignoring ventilation around generators. Guys, I've seen people put generators inside of a box because the generator was too loud. Now, how do you have a gas engine that needs ventilation? Now you're choking the damn thing inside of a box. That generator's not going to last very long because those things are air cooled to begin with. They don't have radiators. They don't have, water jackets, antifreeze and stuff that goes through the blocks. No, these things are air cooled. Every generator has a fan blade in the very part where the generator meets the gas engine. Well, the proper name is dynamo, but the generator itself that generated electricity has a fan to keep it cool, like your old Volkswagen motors. But anyway, I think that covers that. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, if you've been informed, if you need anything else, just leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and whatever it is before you if you feel uncomfortable, you're feeling discouraged, you done got into this truck and you don't know what to do with it, just text me. You know what I mean? Leave me a comment and I'll answer it, and we go from there. Till next time, guys. Chef John, Grab and Go Concessions.